All right, so good evening, amazing parents. How are we doing? You are welcome to day 14. Today is day 14 of this challenge. So if you're joining for the first time, we've been having a challenge that started on the 1st of December, a 21 days challenge where we're getting to know our children more, okay? Now, this challenge is going to help you to reflect. It's going to help you to see areas, that you need to pay attention to. And it's going to help you, giving you more information on the things, that you should be doing more. All right, so it's been an amazing time of learning. If you've not been following, you can catch the replay from day 1 to 13, okay? Because we've been sharing a lot of knowledge that can help you in this journey, even as we wind down to the end of this year. And if you're meeting me for the first time, you're welcome to this space. I am Boma Obuforibo. I'm a positive parents coach and the founder of the Positive Parenting Academy, which is an online parenting academy that helps parents and caregivers to overcome the challenges that come with raising children. Okay, so today we're on day 14 and it talks about how your children feel loved. Okay, it's one thing for you to say you love your children, it's another thing for them to know that they are really loved. Okay, so a lot of times we feel we love them, but do they really feel loved? All right, so we're going to be talking about this, and this is very critical in our parenting journey. Okay, so you are welcome, all of us that are joining today. Hassan, I see you. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So you can see me and hear me. Please let me know that I can be seen and heard, and I hope that the network will be gracious to us today. All right, so you are welcome. Okay, so yes, we're winding down to the end of this year. I want us to reflect on what it is we're doing. Now, if you're not in an academy, if you're not in a system that will help you, support you, hold you accountable, okay, a system where you can be getting up-to-date knowledge, then you would want to be a part of the Positive Parent Circle. Okay, registration for 2024 is ongoing. Okay, already we have a cohort that is running, so we're not taking any more parents again till next year. However, we have some courses that you can look out for throughout the year 2024. We have the Year Less Connect More, which is in March, okay, where we help you to reduce your yelling, your shouting, and try to connect with your child. All right, we will help you to identify all those triggers that make you shout like, say, this child just wants to get me. Okay, then we also have the Healing Your Inner Child. So yesterday I was in an IG session where we're talking about how unresolved childhood traumas can affect your parenting. You would understand that in this parenting journey, okay, there are some things we need to heal that happen in our childhood that can be affecting the way we parent our children. Okay, so we have that Healing Your Inner Child course. It comes up in June. And then we also have the Boost Your Child's Learning Performance, right? So learning is something that is learned, okay, and something we can develop in our children so that eventually they take charge of their learning experiences. Brain potential of your child in this course, help them to love to learn, help them to develop study skills on their own, help them to own their learning experience. And we teach you how to tailor their learning based on what it is, that they do in terms of their learning style, in terms of the brain function, in terms of strategies and all of that. So that course comes up in September. All right, and so we're also running the Skill Kids Hub. It's going to start in January. Registration is still ongoing. It's just how many days left? It's 8 days left, okay, and the registration closes. All right, because we need to do onboarding and all of that. So if you have a child 5 to 10 years, please sign them up. Okay, sign them up and prepare for next times. It's not by let's just go with the flow. You need to have a plan. I was speaking with the parents in the positive parent circle, talking about developing a parenting plan. You need to have a plan, okay? You need to have a plan for yourself and for your child as well. All right, so if you want to be a part of all of this, please just send me a DM after this session. Okay, so today we're talking about love. Love, right? So you say you love your child. Of course, every parent starts out to love their children. There's no parent that you will ask now and they will say, I don't love my child. Well, some may say that, out of frustration, sometimes maybe out of the circumstance, they give birth to the child. But times I've realized that love, okay, does not actually show, or it's not actually felt by our children, despite the fact that we say we really love them. So today we're finding out, how does your child feel loved? So let us hear us in the comment section. Okay, if you can see me and hear me, please let me know. If you can see me and hear me, so that I know that I'm connecting with you. All right, so because this topic, of course, is very important, just like every other thing we've been discussing since day one. Okay, all right, so okay, so good evening, Busola. I can see Hasana and Busola. Please, can you see me and hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? All right, so I've been saying some things, and I believe that you have been connecting. So today we're talking about how your child feels loved, right? Okay, so Chiamaka. All right, so let's start dropping it in the comment section. How does your child feel loved? How does your child feel loved? Okay, you can hear me. How does your child feel loved? All right, so while we are dropping that in the comment section, okay, there is something we need to understand, the concept, right? There is a certain way every human being feels loved. Okay, there is a certain way every human being feels loved, and our children included, right? So even though we say we love them, if we are not communicating to them in that way that they feel loved, they may not really appreciate it. Okay, so you are saying, oh, I love my child, I love my child, and then you are going ahead to love them the way you know how. But if you don't try to understand, how do they even feel loved? What are the things that I would do, okay, that they will really connect with, and they will feel, yes, mommy loves me, daddy loves me. Okay, so it's not just about what I'm doing. What you're doing in terms of how you feel you show them love may not be aligned with how they perceive love. So we need to pay attention. Okay, so this is very critical, because you may think, okay, I'm doing this thing and I'm actually showing love. So I've showed my daughter or my son love, but your child may not be receiving it, because that is not the way they perceive love. So it is important for you to understand what your network. Okay, so the network today is not friendly at all. All right, so Asana says appreciation, praises, showers of love are what makes my daughter feel loved. Okay, so appreciation, praises. All right, so why is this important? A lot of times parents have complained about children misbehaving. Now, this is one of the major reasons why your child will misbehave. If your child's love tank is empty, okay, must be filled. You see, their emotional need is one of their basic needs. So when they don't feel loved, they will misbehave. And that's why I keep telling parents, anytime your child misbehaves, in quotes, there's always a reason. And this is one of the excuse me. Excuse me. And this is one of the major reasons. All right, thank you. So Busola says, care for her, attend to her needs, appreciate everything she does. Okay, so amazing. So now we need to pay attention to it, because one, that's what I said. This is a wow, the network today. So can you see me now? So Hasana, from what you said, is you're talking about words of affirmation, basically. Okay, words of affirmation. Busola is saying, acts of service, basically. So when you don't do these things you've identified for them regularly, their love tank is reduced, and it's a major reason why they misbehave. That is one. So two, another reason why this is important is because the network is not friendly at all. Okay, so another reason why knowing this is important is because this is a holiday season. We are looking at children predators. Okay, usually we have realized that it's not, they are trusted people in our circle, a close person, and most of the times these predators, there's a build up before they eventually do what it is that they want to do with the children. And one of their strategies is to understand how this child feels loved. Okay, so if you are the parent, you're not feeling that tank, they know how to go about. They keep feeding them those things that they want to hear, the things they want to do to make them feel loved. Okay, these predators, and then they gain them. Because children, like I said before, they are largely emotional. Their thinking brain is still developing, so they are largely emotional. That's status. They come, if it's words of affirmation, they're always giving them words of affirmation, listening to them, building that trust. So we need to be mindful that we are the ones that are feeling that their love tank, okay, are feeling it. So for instance, if your child is the one that likes words of affirmation and you are yelling at them, that's why your child will say, when daddy's at me, when they keep complaining about that, then that for them means when you affirm them. So if you use hurtful words, if you raise your voice, it affects them more than every other child, because that is how they perceive love. So once you talk to them in that manner, they know mommy doesn't love me, and all of that. And then if they are the ones that like acts of service, you don't care for them, you don't attend to their needs, and maybe they have a sibling and you're doing the same for that sibling, but you may be saying, okay, I buy you things, everything that I'm doing for you, and you think I don't love you. That's because it's not their love language. Okay, it's not enough for you to say I love them. One, like I said, it will reduce misbehavior. Two, I talked about being able to, wow. Okay, so please, if you have been hearing me so far, just want you to write in the comment section what it is you picked. The network has just been on and off. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so Wumi is here. Good evening. Please, can we just write in the comment section what we heard so far while we go on? So Wumi is saying, my first daughter says when I take them or her second out. Okay, yes, it's on and off. The second says when I hug her. So physical touch, right? Physical touch. So if your daughter is the one for physical touch, if you spank, you hit, it's going to cut deep, 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 because that is how she perceives love. So if you hit her, and you know another thing that's going to do, it's going to send okay. So if the one that she goes to love, goes to for love, hitting her, so it gives her the message that, you know, love comes with physical abuse, right? So that, okay, so that's way that we our children feel loved. Let us be sure that we are giving it to them, you know, the way they want. And parents, you know, there's a challenge when it comes to this, because most times the way they feel loved is not the same way. Okay, so we're talking about those childhood experiences and traumas yesterday. A lot of times, you know, why we don't give this love is because we ourselves, you know, we have some unresolved traumas. You know, so you're always irritated. Your child is always in your space, you know, especially for children that like quality time. But it triggers you. You know, when they touch you, you're just irritated. You need to check. You need to check and pay attention. Okay, why are you so triggered? And that is because that is how your children feel loved. Okay, if you don't spend time with them, naturally every child, you know, loves that time with mommy and daddy. But there are some children, you know, their own is, that's their love language, that quality time. Okay, okay, so again, parents need to fill their children's love tank, yes, to avoid child predators. Yes, so we should not, you know, feel, we should fill that void, because nature naturally abhors vacuum. So whatever it is you're not giving your child, they are getting from somewhere. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. You want to be the one filling their tank, because it's a need. So if you're not, okay, so you're just leaving it to chance if you're not intentional about, you know, understanding how your children feel loved. Okay, because like I said, they're emotional. You know, that love thing is a big deal for them. Even as adults, you know, we all have the way we feel loved. Somebody, because the person has not communicated exactly the way you feel loved, so the network is just on and off. So I think we get the message today. So the takeaway is that we should go and pay attention. Okay, now how your children, now pay attention to the things that your children do. You know, some of the things that we'll be discussing in the remaining days of the challenge, you know, will help us to identify. They will be like pointers to the kind of things, yes, the network. So try and pay attention to the things that your children always insist that, you know, you do. Try and pay attention to the things that when you do, it lights them up. Okay, it makes them so happy. Pay attention. That is how you find, you know, those love languages. Then pay attention to the things that they want to do. Naturally, people tend to, you know, show love to people the way they say with them. We are doing it the way we feel loved, but it may not always align with the way our children feel loved. Okay, so we need to find out, and I've mentioned some of the reasons why this is key. Why this is key. Children are emotional. So that love is an emotion, it's a feeling, it needs to be filled. Okay, so this network today. So we talked about um the importance of knowing this, because it reduces misbehavior, you know, to avoid children predators, and connect to that secure attachment theory, which we go in depth in the positive parent circle. Okay, a secure attachment, and some of these things is now, so we are learning it, okay, so that we don't have to raise children that will come and heal again from their childhood experience, right? Okay, so we need to ensure that we are feeling the love tank children. It's going to help them. See, before your children go into the world, you need to warm them with layers of this love. Okay, layers of this love, and the only way is to know how they feel loved, so that there is nothing lacking. They are not deficient. When they go out there, that love, is so strong, is so full. All right, they are not seeking validation. They are not dealing with self-esteem issues. They are not listening to things that they know that ordinarily these people are not, they are not sincere. They are not looking for who they would get love from. We need to make their love tank to overflow. All right, let it be overflowing. You cannot love. See, there was this saying that you cannot love your child too much, and that is one myth I need to dispel. That when you love your children too much, you spoil them, and that's because you don't even understand what it means to love children. It's not about going to buy them things that they can't afford, buying them gifts and all. It's loving them the way they feel loved. You can never give your child too much love. Always remember that. Okay, so that love tank needs to overflow. So let us go back and understand how our children feel loved, and try as much as we can to fill their love tank with that love language. Okay, so that will be where we call it a day for today. I hope you got something. If you did, go and rave in the WhatsApp group, and I believe you've been following from day one, right? If you have a child 5 to 10 years, please sign them up. We have 8 days more and then registration closes, where they're going to be learning skills that they need to thrive. Okay, a lot of skills that will help them, and that will also help you as a parent, because okay, it will make it a lot easier for you to parent them. All right, I keep saying a skilled child is a lot easier to parent. Okay, you can sign up for the parents community now. Okay, and the next cohort, which is starting in November 2024. Okay, and like I said, in the meantime, you look out for any of our courses in the year, okay, and be a part of it. All right, so I hope this was insightful. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Hasana. Thank you, Wumi. Thank you, Busola Chiamaka. Thank you so much for joining in.